wmuc.edu.
Good morning, America. Breaking overnight. Terror threat. Authorities in Los Angeles warned about a possible imminent attack on their subway system set for today.
Right now, we do have specific information.
The tip coming in on a special line from overseas. The station at Universal Studios targeted. The city on high alert right now.
Millions brace for a deep freeze spreading across most of the country right now. Texas facing single-digit temperatures, and snow creates a travel mess and dangerous commutes. 17 states now under winter alerts. And Vice President Biden hints at a run for president in 2020. The 74-year-old refuses to rule anything out, while former VP Al Gore meets with President-elect Trump and his daughter Ivanka.
I found it an extremely interesting conversation.
And the Oscars go to Jimmy Kimmel.
And they decided that since I'm already right across the street from where they do the show, I was the closest person to host.
The late night host landing awards season's biggest prize for the first time ever.
Thanks for the ride. How do we fire this baby up?
Is Kimmel about to bring the heat?
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
We do say good morning, America. A lot of excitement for the Oscars and Jimmy Kimmel, as he said his studio's right across the street.
Yeah, he can just
right
walk
there.
across the street, Robin. You know that. And, you know, he's had a lot of fun at his after-Oscar show every year. Here's a little clip. You know, Matt Damon is banned from his show. He has this little running thing where I don't let Matt Damon on my show. But here's a little clip from last year's after-Oscar show.
That's good.
One of the ways that Matt Damon was going to get on Jimmy Kimmel Live. But I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to be a great host. Funny guy.
Killed it
great
at the
relationship.
Emmys.
Yes.
He really did. And also, congratulations. He and his wife expecting their second child. He announced that as well last night.
That is wonderful news. But we begin with some tough news. That breaking news, a terror threat in Los Angeles targeting the Universal City Metro line. FBI now investigating the credibility of the threat. Officials say it was specific and imminent. ABC's Matt Gutman is on the scene in Universal City with the latest. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, George. That tip warned of a specific attack at this metro station this morning, just steps away from Universal Studios. Now, we just saw the LA Sheriff's Department rolling in with an armored car. Security's beefed up here. A man speaking English phoned in that threat to a public safety hotline abroad. It was deemed credible enough that the FBI had to make the unusual move of alerting the public. This morning, one of the gateways to Universal Studios bristling with anti-terror units. The FBI says a threat called into a foreign public safety hotline warned of a terrorist attack on the Red Line metro stop just yards from Universal Studios. Overnight, the area looked like an action movie set. From the air, you could see them overnight, K-9 units and officers with automatic weapons. The FBI announcing the threat Monday night.
The reason that we wanted to bring this information to your attention is that there is the imminent threat that it was to take place tomorrow.
What differentiated this threat from hundreds of others, said authorities, was its specificity and timing. Just hours away, and that it targeted a spot used by tens of thousands every day.
Right now, we do have specific information, and we're trying to determine whether it is a credible threat.
Still, LA Mayor Garcetti urging people to go about their daily business and even ride the metro as he will.
In fact, I'll be boarding the Red Line myself in the morning at Universal City at the stop there.
Now, law enforcement officials tell me that the threat was actually broader than just this metro station, but because it had some obvious mistakes, it limited its credibility. Still, we are told to expect beefed up securities here during the holiday season. George?
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Let's bring in our senior justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. And Pierre, so specific, this threat and attack supposed to happen today. It set up a real scramble among federal authorities.
George, it's been an intense 24 hours as U.S. law enforcement agencies debated how to handle this threat. And George, my sources told me overnight that they simply ran out of time. That this threat was imminent, there was not enough time to discount or confirm the threat. So despite the skepticism of some officials, my sources said they had no choice but to warn those commuters heading to trains this morning in Los Angeles.
And Pierre, there's always so much concern around the holiday season.
George, none of this happens in a vacuum. This is a tense moment for law enforcement. We're in the midst of a holiday season that they know Al-Qaeda and ISIS would like to hit. And there's a backdrop of recent history with the one-year anniversary of the San Bernardino massacre, the attempted bombing in New York City over the summer, and just last week, a man possibly inspired by ISIS tried to run over and stab people on the campus of Ohio State University. Intense times, George.
Cannot be too careful, Pierre Thomas. Thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Now that that Arctic blast spreading across the country, it looks like it's time to dig deep into your closets for those big coats and gins. You're single digits in my home state of Texas.
Right.
Near zero in Chicago. Blizzard warning in the plains.
It's here.
It all happened fast.
It happened
out of
fast
nowhere.
because we had such a warm fall, one of the warmest autumns on record for so many folks. And this is what happens when the snow first falls. This is in Montreal, Canada. That bus slamming into the cars, other cars slamming into them. That's a case of less is more when it comes to snow, but they had a whole lot more in Casper, Wyoming. 7.1 inches of snow. That was a daily record for them. Then parts of I-94 shutting down in Washington State, and there are still winter weather advisories from Oregon all the way through the blizzard warning in North Dakota, even a few winter weather alerts in parts of the Appalachians. That Arctic air is going to settle in, and these are the teens you were talking about. Dallas will feel like 22 by Thursday morning, 2 in Chicago, 17 Cincinnati, and here comes the core of the cold air. By Saturday morning, y'all, you're gonna feel it, Robin.
You said cold air was already minus 28 in Bismarck. They're hot. It's only minus 18
Yeah, they're
now.
warming right up.
Cold air, we got 10 degrees warmer.
That's true. All right, thank you both. Now to the latest on that Oakland warehouse fire. Authorities are now considering murder charges as they investigate what sparked the blaze. And overnight, there was a tense confrontation at a vigil for victims. ABC's Kana Whitworth has more. Joins us this morning from Oakland. Good morning, Kana.
Yeah, Robin, good morning. Residents here are outraged over a lack of affordable housing. Oakland has some of the highest rents in the country and incomes that don't match, which makes places like the Ghost Ship so important to them. They also want justice, and the district attorney tells me she will leave no stone unturned, adding that she has to figure out who knew what and when.
This morning, with nearly 40 fatalities in the Oakland warehouse fire, the district attorney is considering criminal charges.
And are there possible murder charges coming down the line? Is that a possibility?
It's on the spectrum of possibilities.
Investigators trying to piece together how several dozen people could have lived in such disastrous conditions. The warehouse allegedly run by this man, Derek Ion Almena.
They're my friends, they're my family.
He and his wife have 3 children. Their former nanny speaking to ABC station KGO.
So they would kind of go off and do their own thing and be gone for like 3 to 5 days sometimes.
Past residents say they didn't know what they were getting into.
It was a hellhole. It was a death trap.
Almost immediately after Friday night's fire, the DA's office launched their criminal investigation.
When you look inside the warehouse, there's no question that something was not right.
According to city leaders, the warehouse was completely uninhabitable, lacking the proper permits for residential living. Still, people like Max Orr paid $750 a month to live there.
Did you ever feel unsafe living there?
No, there's a lot of fire extinguishers because we didn't have a sprinkler system. There wasn't one in the building.
Issues with the building date back to 2014. Just last month, multiple complaints were filed for building violations. Now police are also investigating the building owners. Overnight at a vigil for the victims, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf greeted with cries of "get off the stage and go home" by those protesting a lack of affordable housing and workspaces in the city.
The councilman responsible for this district tells me there are at least 200 other warehouses just like this one in Oakland that are not up to code. Robin?
Have to keep that in mind. All right, Kana, thank you. Now to the latest on the Trump transition. President-elect Trump's meeting with former Vice President and climate advocate Al Gore is in the spotlight this morning. ABC's Tom Yamas has the details, joins us from Trump Tower here in Manhattan. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. It's another sign that the president-elect is meeting with people from both sides of the aisle. Now, Trump himself has been skeptical of climate change, but Al Gore says the meeting was, quote, productive, a meeting that was set up by Ivanka Trump.
Overnight, former Vice President Al Gore sharing more details about his meeting with the president-elect and how daughter Ivanka Trump feels about climate change.
It's no secret that Ivanka Trump is very committed to having a climate policy that makes sense.
The meeting taking place at Trump Tower. Gore meeting with the president-elect, who has sent mixed signals about climate change, once calling it a hoax, later saying he's keeping an open mind.
The bulk of the time was with President-elect Donald Trump. I found it an extremely interesting conversation.
And now ABC News learning Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner are exploring a possible move to D.C., including informally house hunting. Kushner, a senior advisor to the president-elect, is expected to have some type of role counseling Trump in the White House. This as another one-time Trump critic is speaking out about a possible Secretary of State appointment.
There's an expanded list. I'm on it. I'm honored and thrilled to be on that list.
John Huntsman, former governor of Utah and ambassador to China, now being considered by the president-elect. The expanding list assigned Trump has yet to make up his mind on a post that also includes Mitt Romney and Rudy Giuliani as contenders.
Now, we also want to mention Joe Biden, the current vice president, known for his off-the-cuff remarks yesterday, telling reporters on Capitol Hill that he's going to run for president in 2020. When asked if he was joking, he said this, George, I want to make sure I get it right. He says he's not committing to not running. So we'll have to wait and see, George.
We will have to see. Okay, Tom, thanks very much. John Carhiller to talk about more about that. I got to say, I'm not sure it was all that off the cuff. I spoke to the vice president back at the convention. He didn't rule out a future run then either. And you got to wonder if he's having some kind of regrets over not running this year.
George, do not think this was a joke. I don't think there has been a minute since November 8th that Joe Biden has not in some way regretted that he didn't run. And every day people are coming to him and saying, if you had run, Trump would not have won. But look, he would be 78. Winston Churchill ran the second time. He was almost 80, so it could be a youth movement in comparison to that. But this is not really what the Democrats need right now. They had an election where they had elder statesmen lock out a next generation. They need a new generation of leadership. But, you know, Biden's going to be an important voice in this Trump era.
No question about it. Former Vice President Al Gore, also an important voice on climate change. Now, this follows another meeting. Leonardo DiCaprio met with Ivanka Trump as well, but this is really at odds with the positions that Donald Trump has taken.
Trump was about as anti-Al Gore on climate change as you could be in this election. Look, he was a friend of coal. He called climate change a hoax created by the Chinese government. But the thing that I think the play that Gore is making here is that Trump is not ideological. We've seen him switch dramatically on positions. Ivanka Trump is somebody who has talked about climate change. But look who he's meeting with today for Secretary of State, the CEO of ExxonMobil as a possible candidate.
And you have to watch his key appointments for EPA and those other agencies. Okay, John Carl, thanks very much. We're going to go overseas now to the deadly war in Syria. Assad's troops advancing in the embattled city of Aleppo after a UN attempted a ceasefire that would allow evacuations and delivery of emergency aid was vetoed by Russia and China. ABC's Alex Marquardt is on the ground in Aleppo right now. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, George. This is what the Syrian government calls one of the liberated areas of eastern Aleppo, one of the areas that they have retaken from the rebels. And this one, Hanano, is hugely significant because it was the first district that the rebels took 4 years ago. It is impossible to overstate the level of destruction that we have seen in this city. This morning, we drove for miles from the western side of the city to the eastern side. And this is what we saw, block after block, street after street of buildings that have completely collapsed, apartment blocks that have been totally devastated with homes, schools, and businesses inside. And then there's the quiet. Except for the relentless sounds of the battle raging not too far away, it is eerily silent, a ghost town. This area was once home to more than 400,000 people, and now just look around. There's barely anyone. In this 3-week offensive to root the rebels out of eastern Aleppo, some 30,000 people have fled their homes. The Syrian army here, backed by Russia and Iran, is going for total victory. And this is what victory looks like. George.
My goodness, what a stunning and sad sight. An entire city laid to waste. I want to thank Alex for that.
We can see it like that, George. Now to Amy with the morning's other top headlines, starting with wasteful spending at the Pentagon.
That's right. The Pentagon is accused of trying to hide a report that exposed $125 billion in wasteful spending. The Washington Post says defense officials suppressed the study on bureaucratic waste because they were worried it would prompt Congress to cut the budget. The report found there is nearly one back office Pentagon worker for every active service member. Well, the lawyer for a Georgia father sentenced to life in prison for leaving his son to die in a hot car says he will appeal. Justin Ross Harris showed no emotion as the judge handed down the maximum punishment with no possibility of parole. The judge reflected on what Harris did.
callously walked away and left that child in a hot car in June in Georgia in the summer to swelter and die.
Harris says his son's death was an accident, but prosecutors said Harris was sexting and was trying to get out of his parental responsibilities. Well, new research about the dangers of drowsy driving. AAA says drivers who get just 5 or 6 hours of sleep per night are nearly twice as likely to get into a crash. The more sleep you lose, the higher the crash rate. And finally, a police department in Canada has officially apologized to Nickelback for threatening to make drunk drivers listen to their songs. They were hoping Nickelback's music would be an extra deterrent, but they now say bullying in any form is wrong. I like Nickelback.
Why do they take?
I know. Nickelback.
Why do they take so much grief?
I don't know. Gotta be somebody. I like their songs.
I actually like Nickelback too. I'm a
Thank
fan.
you.
Ginger,
what are you doing? No, I can't stay back here and not talk about Nickelback. No, it would be like torture for me. Yes, it would be bad. Okay, I'm yelling.
There's my answer.
Apologies accepted, Nickelback. I'm sure you will accept them. But you know, nothing to apologize here. Jimmy Kimmel, ABC's late night comedian, he's getting a new gig as host of the new Academy Awards, and Chris Conley has all the details. And Chris, we saw Chris Rock kill it last year. You think Kimmel's up for the challenge?
I think he's got a great shot, Michael. You know, this year's excellent movies mean the 89th Academy Awards may feature some tough choices, but this was not one of them. Jimmy Kimmel getting his first shot at the big gig. And from the looks of things, he's rested, ready, and in more than one way, expectant.
I read online today that in February I'll be hosting the Oscars.
His monologue last night saw Jimmy Kimmel confirming the big news. Monday's announcement marks the first time the ABC late night host has been given the Academy Awards gig.
The producers and the Academy went through a long list of names, and in the end they decided that since I'm already right across the street from where they do the show, I was the closest person to host. So,
for more than a decade, his After the Oscars show has been star-studded and famously funny.
The meeting of the Handsome Men's Club will now come to order.
From the boardroom at the Handsome Men's Club. To Oprah in a bathtub. The Oscar job comes after Kimmel crushed it at this year's Emmys. Kimmel will join an impressive array of actors and comics who've had the big job. Ellen DeGeneres' Selfie That Ruled the World highlighted her 2014 host stint, while the last Oscars saw Chris Rock smartly calling Hollywood out.
Hollywood is sorority racist. It's like, we like you, Rhonda, but you're not a Kappa.
For some, Billy Crystal remains the gold standard.
You're a hit, it's clear to see, and you haven't yet hit puberty.
Jon Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, and Hugh Jackman have all done well. Others, well...
All right, congratulations, nerds.
With the Oscars set for February 26th, there's no time to waste. But as he revealed last night, Kimmel has other big news to celebrate, too.
My wife is hosting a baby inside her body, so... I'm hosting the Oscars, and I had sex. Two things as a teenage boy I never thought would be possible.
As you can see, hosting the Oscars very much in Kimmel's wheelhouse, and I'd expect a significant role for his on-air colleague Guillermo as well, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
You love Guillermo.
That's going to happen. Hey, Chris, thanks so much. Some storms down south.
They are, and the heavy rains in some of those burn scar areas are a concern in Tennessee. But let's go ahead and get straight to the Tuesday trivia, brought to you by Mazda.
One test drive in a Mazda 6 gives one vet a new friend. One ride in a Mazda 3 delivers one hot meal to someone in need. Test drive any Mazda during the Drive for Good event and we'll give back 1 hour of our time to local causes. Then we'll donate to St. Jude or a charity you choose when you buy any new Mazda, because driving matters most when you're driving for good.
Expect rain to pick up in intensity throughout the day today. The heaviest rain after about lunchtime, right up until about 7 o'clock. So likely to be some travel delays for the afternoon rush. Temperatures not budging much today. We stay in the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow 50 degrees and dry. But look at the weekend. Coldest air of the season with temperatures topping out under 40 degrees and wind chills that are going to be in the 20s to teens during the early part of the morning. Now we are going to have sunshine for the weekend, but again, turning much colder early part of next week, mid 40s to around 50.
And the best out of the fresh snow in Illinois, that is the Bumble from the Rudolph movie. You gotta love it. And you guys, I have to say real quickly, there is science behind the Nickelback thing. I'm not alone.